Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. For this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make these gorgeous earrings. They turned out really sparkly, and you're going to have several options on how you can make these earrings. And so, when I made this, at first, I had that, and I really liked it, but I didn't have daggers down here. I just did this part here, and this part, this section, I repeated that down here, okay? So I just had what looked like a mandala, and it was really pretty. And I've been wanting to do some kind of like fringe earrings, so then I took these beads that were down here out, and I put the daggers in place, and that gave me the fringe look. So then I had this, and then I could have added my earring finding to that 3mm bead right there, and the earring would have been shorter, right? The earring finding would have been here instead of up here. But then I don't know, I wasn't that crazy about it. It was pretty, but I have this thing about having giant pieces like this. This is a big earring, okay? But big earrings close up to my head, this here, it doesn't lay right. It wants to flip sideways because it touches my face, right? So I'm like, well, if I add, this is just a design thing, if I add just a little bit of more beads here, then it will elongate the earring away from my face, and it would be, you know, sitting perfectly in my ear. So then I did that, and then I went through my earring findings, and I found these, which Lisa had gave me, and they are so beautiful with this. It's like they were made for each other, and so I ended up doing this. Now this kind of earring finding, it's a lever back, but because of how it's made and it has this decorative piece here, do you see how this makes the earring itself even longer? So these are pretty long. But it's totally up to you on how you want to do this. You don't have to add the daggers. You can leave those out and just do this beading pattern here again at the bottom. Okay, so then it looks like a mandala circle. And it's optional for you to add this part here. You can leave that out if you want. And your earring finding, you can use whatever you want. You can do the post earring finding, the loop. You can do the lever back like I love. You can do the fish hook style. It's totally up to you. So you have some options on how you can make these earrings. But I'm going to show you how to make the other half to this one here. The colors are very pretty. Now all the beads I'm using are from the, what's it called? Potomac Beads Best Bead Box XL. This subscription box right here, that's the box I'm using. So to make these earrings, let's go over the list of materials. And by the way, if you didn't get the Potomac box, the subscription box, that's alright, because I am going to post individual links to the beads that I'm using here down there in the description bar, so you can buy these beads individually, because I know some of you already have some of these things in your stash. You just might need like the pieduo, or you might need these PC rounds, something like that, or maybe those beads. So I like doing it like this. Okay, so let's go to the list of materials. Now I'm going to give you the list of materials you will need to make one earring. And the reason why is because whenever you go to make an earring like this, if you have the materials for both all laying out for you, it might be confusing to know if you're designing, if you mess up where you went wrong. So I like to give you an exact measurement. And this earring can also be made into a pendant. And I wish that I had just a few more of these, because I would have loved to have a necklace and earrings. Alright, so you can do earrings and a pendant. Awesome. Okay, so for the materials, you're going to need to cut 3 feet of 8-pound fireline. And if you're going to make earrings, you will have to cut 2 3-foot lengths. Okay, and I'm also using a size 10 beading needle. And you will need an 8mm PC chaton. This is so beautiful. Look at that stone. The color of this, by the way, it kind of changes depending on what you put around it. See, I think it kind of looks darker. It looks more green in there, and I want to say it's because it's picking up the green iris 15-0s that I have in it. Alright, you're also going to need 9 pieduo beads, and again, I am telling you the materials you need to make one earring. So you're going to double this if you want to make a pair of earrings. You're also going to need, where was I? 9 pieduo beads. These are 2-hole. 26 quarter tila beads. 8 4mm PC rounds. PC stands for Potomac Crystal, in case you didn't know. And 13 3mm Czech druk beads. 12 3x11mm Czech dagger beads. And by the way, you might be able to do teardrops in place of these. If you have small teardrops in your stash, you might be able to do that. Right, and you're also going to need 11 miyuki seed beads and 15 miyuki seed beads and earring finding. And I'm using this here, and because of how this has the hole in the front, I have to use a jump ring. But usually you would just do an earring finding. You would not need a jump ring. Alright, so again, this is the list of materials, and I will link everything down below in case you want to make this earring. Now, I do want to let you guys know, some of you comment and ask me for a certain color, like maybe you want that color, you ask me, can you link that color? But this is what happens. Sometimes when I go and I get the links for you and I put them down in the description bar, I'm not able to find the exact color I'm using. It's out. So if you don't see the color down there, the reason why I didn't post it is because they're not in stock at this time. Alright? Okay, we're going to start by making the bezel for the center of our chaton. And to do that, I have to pick up an 11 seed bead. Oh, and I forgot to mention, all of this stuff and these are from the Potomac box. The only thing that's mine are the seed beads, the thread, and the earring findings. But all the other beads are from the Potomac box. So pick up an 11 it's a quarter tila, 11 tila, 11 tila, 11 tila, 11 tila. And you're gonna need, almost there, I'll show you. Is that it? But 7, I need 8. Let's see. Okay, 4 and 4. So I have 8. 8 quarter tilas and 8 11 seed beads. And I always have to split it in half like that, because when it's all jumbled together, I cannot count it with my eyes. I always have to go like that, and then I can like, oh, there's 8. It's just, I don't know. Are you like that? Am I the only one? Alright, I'm going to slide all of these down, and we are going to leave a short tail. We don't need that long of a tail. Maybe 5, 4, 6-inch tail. Where's my ruler? I usually write the notes down of how much of a tail to leave, but I didn't on this one. Now I did make this earring, by the way. I made this earring like 3 days ago, and I filmed, I think it was 3 videos the other day, and I didn't get this one in. And so I'm doing it late. Oh no, I filmed 2 videos earlier today. I've been doing a lot of filming. I don't think I'm going to go for a 6-inch tail. I'm going to go shorter. Where am I at? I'm going to do like a... It's 4.5. Yeah, I'll do about there. Okay. So, I just slid those beads down. It's a little hard to see, they're flipping on me. But I'm just gonna pull it tight. Okay, I want the beads to touch. I don't want a gap, so I have to flip these to make it work. Come on. Okay, I'll tie a knot now. So I'm gonna tie a surgeon's knot, go over and under. Don't get caught around the bead. Right there. Oh my gosh, do you see that? This loop is trying to go over top of there. That's not good. I don't want that to happen. Okay, now it worked. It just made a circle. Okay, and then I'm going to go over and under twice. I was wondering what was going on. It's like weird. Pull that tight. Okay, now I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to sew up through this tila bead. Just a tila. I feel like I'm piercing my knot. I'll pull my thread, get that knot out of the way. There we go. Okay, I'm going through just the tila bead. Okay, then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go up through here. Like that. Now my tail, this naughty little tail, I cannot leave it here because there is no way that I'm going to be able to weave that back in if I leave it in that place. Okay, that's what the back of the earring looks like. So I'm going to take this tail and I'm going to weave through this hole right here. Okay, don't even have to put a needle on it. So now both of my tails are Xing out of that bead. Okay, oh, that's not in view. I want that to be in view so I can point back to it to show you guys. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads coming out the quarter tila, and I'm going to go into the next one. And see how these flip inward? So you have to make sure that you're going through the right one, because like if that was flipped in and I say next one, you might go through that one not realizing that, so you gotta pay attention to that. So coming out of here, going right through the next one, there's 2 seed beads, and I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads again and go through the next one. This is to save time. Okay, and then pull my thread and all 4 of those will pop into place. Again, pick up 2, go through the next tila, pick up 2 again, go through the next tila, this is the first time I've worked with these quarter tilas, and I really liked them for bezeling this chaton, and I want to see what they would be like bezeling a rivoli, because it's kind of similar. Like the base, they work really great for the base. There's 2 again. I'm going to do this all the way around until I fill in all the gaps. Okay, pull the thread through, pick up 2, go through here, pick up 2, go through here, and then step up and go out of the next 2 seed beads. Okay, now we have to pull this tight and it's going to cup on us. See the sides? They lift up and it cups like a bowl. And I think I'm going to take this tail. I'm trying to remember. Do I leave it? I think I'm going to leave it for now. I don't know. I'll move it later if I have to. Okay, because I've done this before. Whenever I start and I have a tail in the center and I can't tie that tail in later at the end, I move it along with this. I just stitch through a few beads as I go, as I'm adding beads, so I don't get stuck. And it works great. Okay, so this here is not wanting to stay curved for me, and that's because it's not tight enough and I have to add more beads in order to make that work. So I'm going to pick up a 15-0 seed bead, and I have to enclose the top here because the chaton won't stay if I don't. So I'm going to pick up 1 and go through 2 like this. And this 15-0, it's going to stack on top of the quarter tila. Now it's going to want to flip to the bottom. Don't let it. Use your fingernails and flip that bead up, and once you flip it up, do you see how it sits on top right there? I'll show you this. Do you see my 15s? They're sitting on top of those tilas, and then when they sit on top, you could see the little white tila shining through there. Okay, so that's what we're doing right now. I'm going to go all the way around doing this, picking up 1 15 at a time, going through 2 11s. Make sure you don't get your needle twisted around the thread. I always hug the wall. I lift the beads up and I go out through the wall, because if it's twisted, it'll warp your design. You'll see that it won't be flat. It'll have like a twisted look to it. I'm picking up 2 beads. I don't know why. There's 1 seed bead. It's a 15-0. Going through these 2 11s. flip the bead up, give it a tug like that, keep on going, pick up a 15 through these two, and to prevent, see, if you go through this way, you're gonna get wrapped around the thread, right? So I always lift them up like this. Okay, that way I don't get my needle twisted around that thread. Okay, and I'm just gonna go all the way around, one seed bead at a time. Lift those beads up and away. Pull it snug. Two beads. Oh, that one went in perfectly. I didn't have to fix that one. Two again. That one has to be flipped up. Okay, pick up another 15 and go through these two. Flip that bead up. Stop and pull your thread tight. Okay, so now it's cupped up and it's got that shape we need. Okay, now I have to step up again because my cab, it's not a cab, it's a chaton. It won't stay in here. I don't have enough beads to hold it in. So I have to go through this 15, which was the first one that we added. Okay, go through there. Like that. Pick up two 11s, not 11s, good grief, two 15s. Coming out of this 15, skip over these two and going through the next 15. And you will have to go through these at an angle because the other beads are in your way. See, and those do kind of automatically fall to the center there. Two more. Now I don't pull this row very tight because I have to put my stone in. So I pick up two, pass through the 15 that's there, pick up two, pass through this 15 right here. Where's my tail at? Is that on the inside? Yeah, I'm going to pass this tail out through this loop. So see it? It's right there. So I'm just going to go like this. So it's on the outside, right there. Make sure yours is on the outside. We're going to pass that tail through the 3mm bead later on. So I got my two 15s and I'm going to go through this 15. Okay, you can pull it tight there, see what it looks like. Especially those few rows. It's the last couple of rows that you don't want to be tight because you have to put the stone in. Go through these two. And something I used to do all the time is I would prematurely put the stone in. Okay, like put stone in right now and stitch around, and I would drop the stone. And I did that and I broke a Swarovski Rivoli one time. Do you guys remember that? And I was so bummed out because it was the only one I had in that size, and I was doing a tutorial on it. Okay, going all the way around with the 15s. So now, whenever I'm using a stone or bezeling something, I always wait to put the stone in. I don't try to hold it in because I don't want to break it. 15s. We're very close to the close. Two 15s. Okay, right there. That's where I started at. this bead. It's right above this one. If you're forgetting like which one is the one you're supposed to be going through, you're supposed to be going through the 15-0 that's right above the white quarter tila. Mind frame, yeah. Okay, and we're trying to go through this 15. Okay, and also while I'm at it, I'm gonna go through the next two. Oh, you know what? I'll just pull this through and then go through those two. Yeah, then I'll go through these two. Like that. Okay, pull that through. Now let's put the stone in. Okay, I have to pull my thread tight. Push that stone down. Push it down, make sure it looks like that in the back. Pull the thread tight. Now, right here, I can't leave it like this. The stone will still come out, and I can't add any more beads because it will cover too much of the stone. So now what I have to do is I have to just go around with my thread and secure. I'm pulling this really tight, by the way. Okay, looks pretty. So now I have to reinforce this, and I can't add more beads because it's just going to cover up the stone more. So what I do is I take my needle, and I kind of wish my beads were a different color because you might be able to see what I'm doing better. And I'm going to go from these two seed beads to the next two. So all the seed beads I put in, the 15s where I did two at a time, I'm just going to pass through those. Okay, so there's one pass. Here's two more. Okay, and if you want you could stop and then go through the next two like that. So then I'm going through four, and then pull your tail through all four of them. And I'm going to stop and pull that tight. Go through two right there. And then through two again. And then here's two more. Okay, two again. And you're just trying to get back to where you started. You'll see the thread there. Just like that. Pull it tight. And right there is my thread. Right there. That's where I started. And I don't have any thread right here. See the gap? So I'm going to go through these two. And I just felt my needle twisting underneath of the threads that are in that bead. In these beads, so I backed it out, I lifted the beads up, and I went through it again. Now it feels smooth. I don't feel the friction of my needle trying to go under the threads that's already there. So pull that through, pull that tight. Now our stone is secure. It's not going anywheres. And now I have to weave out. I have to get out into these quarter tilas. So to do that, I'm going to go down this one seed bead. Okay, there's one seed bead right here, the 15-0, through this bead, if you can see, the one that's sitting on top of the quarter tila, through there. Okay, and then I sew down. I have to drop down. It's like we're taking steps down. I'm going to go down through two 11s. And then through this quarter tila. Pull it tight. I have that. So gorgeous. Now I'm going to pick up my 3mm Czech druks. Coming out of this bead, I'm going into the next quarter tila. Okay, and you have to fix this a little bit like that, because see how it's twisting? It's not straight, it's kind of at an angle. Pick up another one, coming out of this quarter tila through the next. Straighten that bead out. And you're going to do this all the way around. 1 3mm Czech druk in between. That feels weird. Okay, there we go. See that? It's already looking cool. These make it look really neat. I was wondering what a 3mm bicone would look like in this area because of this, right? Because of this indentation, with the bicone just nestle in there perfectly. I think it might. Through there. Pass through. Alright, I'm gonna pick up. I'll straighten that bead out. That's not straight. So see how straight mine are? They look great. They want to go in an angle sometimes, so you have to straighten them out. I just picked up another 3mm, and I'm going through my tail. I don't want to puncture that tail. Right here. Okay. Now here's where my tail's at. So after getting through there, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to pass my little tail right here. It's coming out of the tila. I'm just gonna go like this and pass my tail through that 3mm bead, and there we go. Then later on I can easily take this thread, put it on a needle, and weave it back into my earring. So that works out perfectly. And then I'm gonna continue on another 3mm through this tila here. Straighten that bead out. Again, through here. And another one right here, through here. See, it's at an angle again. Always gonna make sure it's straight. And it'll straighten out for you right away as soon as you do it yourself. And that's what it looks like. That is so pretty. I'm very happy with this bezel. And I want to make this into a ring. Wouldn't that be an awesome ring? Okay, now we have to work with the pieduos. And this is going to be a little strange of how I have to do this. So I'm going to pick up a pieduo. Okay, and there's no like top and bottom, so it doesn't matter. So pick that bead up, and then pick up a 15, and then a quarter tila, and then an 11/0 seed bead, a quarter tila, a 15, okay, just like that. 11/0's in the middle, 15s are on the side. Slide these down all the way. Take your needle, pass through the pieduo, and then pass through the 3mm, like that. Okay, get your needle through. You're going to want to hold this pieduo right up next to these beads, hold it in place, and pull your tail through. Okay, stop, pull it tight. That's what you should have. We're going to do this now all the way around, 8 times in total. So again, pieduo, 15, tila, 15, tila, not 15, 11, good grief. 15, tila, 11, tila, 15. Slide this down. Go through this pieduo and through the next 3mm. Pass your needle through. Slide this bead down. Hold it in place and pull all your tail through. And then stop and make sure you pull this tight, because later on, if this isn't tight now, you won't get this tight later on, because we're doing such a drastic turn through that 2-hole bead. Okay? Oh, and look at my, that's what it's going to look like. Starting to see it now? Again, pick up a pieduo, a 15, tila, 11, tila, 15. Like that. Slide it down. Go through the pieduo, through the 3mm, pass the needle through, stop, grab these 2 threads, slide that bead down into place, hold on to it, and pull the rest of your tail through. Like that. Okay, I'm going to do this all the way around. I'll do it one more time with you guys, and then I'll fast forward. So go through the pieduo, like that. Pick up a 15, a tila, an 11, a tila, a 15, slide them down, through the pieduo, and then through the next 3mm, pull the needle through, stop, grab these 2 threads, slide that bead down, and then pull this needle through. Alright, I'm going to do this 4 more times. Back, and this is my last one, my 8th bead. I'm going through here and through the 3mm next to it. You might have to push that bead down, go through at an angle to get through, pass the needle through, hold the bead in place, pull the tail through. Okay, then I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to sew up through this pieduo, come out that 15, pull this needle tight. Now I do like to stop and straighten these out because that shows me if I have it tight enough, and if you have it tight enough they'll stick out like that, and they'll stay out like that, see? Until you touch it again and they'll fall. But you can see there's no slack. It's pretty tight. It looks kind of like a snowflake, doesn't it, with the sides there? Okay, now coming out of the 15, I have to sew through the tila, the 11, through the tila, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to pick up an 11-0, my 4mm, and an 11-0. Like this. Coming out of this tila, I'm going to go into the next one and go through that 11. That will pop right into place, and then I have to go through this tila. Just the tila, not the 15. Okay, pick up an 11, a 4mm, an 11, through this tila, and the 11, through this tila, like that. Pick up an 11, and then a 4, and 11. Now I'm not going to pull this extremely tight right here because it's making the beads flip weird. So I'm just trying to, you know, get them in there. Because I have to keep my white beads straight. So I'm not yanking it like I was earlier. I'm going to go down through this tila. Pick up an 11, a 4mm, and then 11. So I'm going to go all the way around putting these in. And this is my 4th bead. I'm halfway there, so I'm probably going to fast forward. So that's what it looks like so far. I'm going to continue putting these beads in, going through a tila, 11, and a tila. One, I have my beads picked up, and I just have to go through right here. And then through this tila, the 11, and out through the 4. Okay, I'm gonna stop. See how these are flipping on me? I'm gonna lay these out flat because I want this to relax. Right now it's very tight in the edges. There's times where we need tension, and there's time where we need it to be kind of relaxed so it moves for us. Alright, looks great. Let's continue. So now coming out of the 4mm, I'm going to pick up a 15, and I'm going to go up through here, and this is going to make that purple bead pop out towards the edge, and it's going to make it lay flatter. See? Because this is pulling it up instead of it just being going around. Okay? And then coming out here, I'm going to pick up an 11, a 3mm, and 11. And then go through this tila. Whoa, almost dropped that. It should sit like that. And then here, I'm going to pick up a 15, go through this purple 4mm. You may have to go like this and push the bead out. Pick up another 15. Go through this tila. Pick up a 11, a 3mm, and 11. Go through this tila. Pick up a 15. Push that bead out. Go through that bead there. Pick up a 15. Go through this tila. Okay, see how it's flattening out there? And then an 11, a 3, and 11. Go through that tila. Okay, so now we should have this. Now, I'm going to pick up another 15, push that 4mm out again, go through it, another 15, and go through the tila. Alright, so we are right here, laying this in the same position. This is where we're at. This is going to be the top where we attach our, we're going to do this, attach our earring finding here. You could just attach it directly to this bead like I said earlier. So this is where we're at, right here, in this one. Now we're going to add our daggers, if you want. This is the point where you could just keep going doing this stitch all the way around. It's very pretty just like that. Or you can add the daggers. It's up to you. Okay, so right here, between the two tilas, there's only enough room for 2 daggers. So I'm going to pick up 2 and go through here. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up 3, because I have room for 3 now, in this other gap. I'm going to go from this bead, from this tila to this one. So I'm not putting any 15s in between in there like I was before. Okay, so it looks like that. And then I'm going to pick up 2 again. Right here. Now at this part you want this to be movable. You don't want this to be very, very tight. You want some movement. So there's 2. And then 3. And I'll show you the movement that I have on my finished one. There's 2 and I need 1 more. These are so screwy picking up with the needle. Through there. Okay. So this one, see this? See how it's moving? This is the movement you want. You don't want it to be really stiff. Like I can move them without touching them. They wiggle side to side. That's perfect. That's the kind of movement you want. Okay. Alright, so once you get the movement, okay, going back to this, I have 2 more. Going into the next bead, just like that. I'm not going to yank this real tight. I can yank this real tight, okay? But see how it makes them all separate? But all you have to do is just come back here and relax it. So they all wiggle. You want them to be wiggly. Alright, now we're back at this point. We ran out of daggers. That's what I have. I'm going to put a 15 in here, push that 4mm out, go through there, pick up a 15, through the tila, pick up an 11, a 3, and then 11, go through this tila, 15, through this 4, 15, through this 4, not 4, tila, push the seed beads there, standing up, push them down. See that? That one's standing up. It makes the beads sit better. Okay, and I still want to make sure that this is not real tight. Let me see. It's a little tight. Okay, that's good. Funny test, isn't that a funny test? Okay, now right there, 11, the 3, and 11. Get in there, sit there. Alright, 15. Push that bead out. Alright, I'm back at the start. See that? There's already 15 there. So I'm going to stitch through this 15. The tila, the 11, and I want to come out of this bead. Alright, make sure this is looking good. I want to make sure that this is not too tight. I want this to be very movable. It looks like it's good. Yeah, I got just the right amount of movement. I'm going to continue on. I think it's perfect. Or we're going to do this now. Okay? But like I said earlier, you don't have to do that. You could put this directly on here. Any kind of earring finding. Okay, but because of how mine's made, I have to use a jump ring. But you can connect that right on there. Did I just move my board? Or my camera? So coming out here, I'm going to pick up an 11/0, a tila, and 3 15s. Like this. And I'm gonna go down through this 15, the tila, and through the 11. Wiggle, wiggle. Just like that. Okay. So that's what I just added. Then I have to come out this 3mm. We're gonna do the same thing over here. Pick up an 11, my last tila, and 3 15s. I'm gonna go through this 15, the tila, the 11/0, okay, go through this 3mm, the 15, and come out the tila. So you should now have this. I'm going to take my needle now and pick up 3 15s, like that. Go through this tila. By the way, I tried this area up here. I tried making this multiple ways, and this was my most favorite. Pick up a 11. Pick up an 11. Go through like that, the tila. Pull that tight. Okay. Pick up your pieduo. Alright. And then pick up 3 seed beads. Pick up your earring finding. Now, I have this weird earring finding. It has the loop going in this direction, so I have to use a jump ring. So that means I don't have to pick mine up right now, but you would want to if you're doing a lever back. If you're doing a regular fish hook, you can add that later. Open it up with pliers, like I am. Okay, so I'm picking up a total of 6 seed beads, like that. I'm going through the pieduo. I have to slide my needle down. Let's see. Okay, like that. I'm gonna go through the tila, the 11, and through the tila again. Why won't I go through? What am I stuck on? There I go. Stop, pull this tight. You'll want to wiggle this, rock this side to side. Okay, to have this. Also, I like to make the seed beads sit like this. I push those 2 in. So there's a little peephole right there to put your earring finding in, or jump ring. Okay. Now I'm going to reinforce this a second time. I'm going to go up through the pieduo, through these seed beads, pull that tight, through the seed beads again. I'm just doing this a second time like that, down through the pieduo, okay, and then I go through the tila, the seed bead, through the tila, and then I have to make this side look like the other side, so I have to pick up 3 15-0s, sew through this 11, through this 3mm. Oh, I can't do it in one shot. I have to do a couple at a time, like this. And I'm gonna get my thread to the outer edge there where I can tie knots. right. And there we are. We are ready to tie this off. Oops. I have a seed bead sticking up right there. I'm going to push him down. Hold that tight. We can do some adjusting up here with my beads. Push these two side beads in. Where's my needle? There, like that. Just want a little peephole to put your earring finding in. Okay, and make sure my thread's right. Oh, that's so perfect. The daggers are hanging just right. Okay, that's what we have. Looks great. Now I'm going to tie knots, and I'm going to tie my knots inside of this row where the purple beads are, because these beads have sharp holes. Okay, so I like to get a second thread path through there, tying knots. Use up all my thread. And let's see. Where am I? I have to get that thread. I might be able to get to this area and put this on and tie both tails in together, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to catch this thread right here, make a loop and pass through it twice. Okay, pull this down and then take the needle and go through the 4mm and through the 11. Let me see, can I get through there? Should I try to go this way? Now I have the option. I can, if I want, I can come out of this purple into the 15 and I can go up this way through the 11, the 3, and the 11, and then go back down into this purple, right? So I can do like this wave motion, which that's not the stitch we did originally, but you could still do that because they are connected. Or you can go from this bead to the 11, to the tila, the 11, the tila, and through that. So I'm going to see which one feels easier. It's that tila bead that I'm wondering about. I think I'm going to stay to the outside. Can I get through the 15? Maybe that's the question. I don't remember what direction I went on the other one. I think I'm going to go this way. Through here, through the next tila. Yeah, I'm going this way. No! Don't get stuck. You know what though? If I did hang on to the outer edge, I would have been able to tie knots there. So I'm going to remove that. I think I should stay in the outer edge. I'm gonna grab this thread. There it is. Yeah, I'll do the outer edge. Because my tail is short, and I just had to go through those. It was kind of a weird place to tie a knot. So if I go in the outer edge, come on, it's through, it's just, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, so now through this 15 and the tila. Okay, then I'm going to tie another knot here, right in front of the 11. See what I mean? My tail's so short right now. Bring that down, go up through these two beads. I'll tie another knot after coming out of this 3. Go in through this 11, and I try and tie as many knots as I can, and then it gets to a point where you just can't tie any more knots, and what I do is I try to weave my tail in as much as I can, because it does help with these purple beads that have the sharp holes, okay? And then you're going to take your needle, once you get your other tail accomplished, put your needle on here. You're going to weave right up through this pieduo. It's really easy because I have this now. Just take your needle, okay, go right up to that pieduo. See that right there? You're going to want to go through this 15, go through the 11, and then you're going to get into this area with the purple beads and tie your knots. And just use up as much as your tail as you can. Alright, so I'm going to finish tying mine off, and I'll put my findings on, and my earrings will be all done. These turned out to look amazing. These are my most favorite colors. Turquoise, and then the pink and the purple. They're so girly. And they have this old look to them because of the metal color that I chose. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. This was a fun project. I would like to take the center piece here and make that into a ring. I don't think it would be all that great with a ring just coming out of the 3mm bead. I would have to do more to it in order for it to work up into a ring, but it looks pretty cool. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, I will have links to these beads down there below in the description bar. Scroll down, you'll see show more. Click on that. It used to say description and you would click on it, but now it's like show more, and I still have people that can't find my material links. But if you just scroll down below the video, you'll see a little tab that says show more. Click that and it'll open up the materials and all my social media sites and stuff like that in there, and you can go get the materials through those links. So this is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I had a lot of fun making these. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and make sure you click the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos, and check me out on my social media sites on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Thanks for watching.